everyone. In previous video, I will discuss the chemical properties of ozone, and in today's video, I am going to discuss the preparation of sulfur dioxide in laboratory and its chemical properties. Sulfur dioxide is a oxide of sulfur having formula SO2. So this is a oxide of sulfur. So how sulfur can be prepared in laboratory? Let us see. What is the raw material necessary for preparation of SO2? One is copper chips and another is concentrated H2SO4. There are two raw materials are required. One is copper chips and another is concentrated sulfuric acid. These two materials react with each other by heating forms. When copper reacts with concentrated H2SO4 on heating, then it forms copper reacts with SO4 forms copper sulfate. Hydrogen and oxygen combines with each other forms water, and sulfur on reaction with oxygen forms SO2. So in this case it is a salt, it is a liquid, and SO2 that is a gas. SO2 gas is formed in laboratory process by reaction of copper with concentrated sulfuric acid. When copper reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms copper sulfate, water, and SO2. Let us see this how the laboratory setup is taken and how SO2 gas is formed. Principle: SO2 gas is prepared in laboratory. SO2 gas is prepared in laboratory by heating concentrated sulfuric acid with copper chips. SO2 gas formation होची concentrated sulfuric acid को copper chips सहित reaction करिकी. You can see the reaction. How the laboratory setup is taken? That is, for preparation of SO2, one round bottom flask is taken, one thistle funnel is taken, one delivery tube is taken, and one gas jar and a Bunsen burner and a stand is required. These are the materials are required for preparation of SO2 in laboratory. So first, copper chips are taken. Copper chips are taken in a round bottom flask. In a round bottom flask, copper chips are taken. Then the flask which fitted with the flask भितर गोटे आमर कौन ना थ्रिसिल फनेल को आम फिट करुचे. फिटेड विथ थ्रिसिल फनेल एंड ए डेलीवरी ट्यूब आ गोटे डेलीवरी ट्यूब देके फिट करुचे. And the delivery tube has two opening. One opening is in the round bottom flask and another opening is in the gas jar, and a gas jar is taken on which the delivery tube is attached and connected to a gas jar through a delivery tube. The gas jar is connected through a delivery tube. Next, when concentrated sulfuric acid is added through the funnel, then copper reacts with funnel and the whole mixture is heated. Then copper reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid to form SO2 gas. When H2SO4 is added to the funnel to the flask and heated, then sulfur dioxide gas is evolved, which is collected in the gas jar by upward displacement of water. This gas is collected in the gas jar by upward displacement of air. Air ro upward displacement होची तामाने SO2 is heavier than air, so air undergo upward displacement and SO2 is present in the bottom of the gas jar. So this is the laboratory preparation of SO2. If some water particles are present in SO2, so since since in the above equation we can see the water are formed, so the gas formed in the round bottom flask may have contained some water particle. So to dry SO2 gas, it is passed through concentrated sulfuric acid solution. So for drying SO2 gas, this gas is passed through concentrated sulfuric acid. When SO2 is passed through concentrated sulfuric acid act as a dehydrating agent, so it can absorb the water particle and the gas remains dry. Then this SO2 gas cannot be dried over quicklime, because quicklime also a dehydrating agent, because SO2 is a acidic in nature and calcium oxide, quicklime, that is calcium oxide, is basic in nature. So when SO2 is dried over CaO, this is acidic and this is basic, so there is reaction occurs, they will react with each other. CaO reacts with SO2 to form CaSO3. So SO2 cannot be dried over CaO, so SO2 can be dried by concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay. So this is the preparation, laboratory preparation of SO2. Then comes to its chemical properties. First property is reaction with basic oxide. This is the chemical preparation is over. Then comes to its chemical properties. In first property is reaction with basic oxide. Since we in previous already discussed SO2 is acidic in nature, so when it reacts with basic oxide, then acid base undergo reaction to form salt. The SO2 reacts with basic oxide, that is basic oxide and alkali also basic in nature, to form corresponding sulfide salt. Formation करछन. CaO is a basic oxide, reacts with SO2, forms CaSO3, calcium sulfide. KOH, it is a alkali, when reacts with SO2, forms K2SO3, potassium sulfide. This is a sulfide salt. So since SO2 is acidic nature, so when it reacts with basic oxide or alkali, forms sulfide salt. Next property, reaction with carbonates of alkali metal. Since carbonate of alkali metals are by nature, they are basic in nature, and SO2 is acidic in nature. So when SO2 reacts with carbonates of alkali metal, it forms corresponding bisulfite. Na2CO3 is sodium carbonate. It is a carbonate of alkali metal. Reacts with SO2. Aqueous solution means water is taken. Na2CO3 plus water plus SO2. It forms NaHSO3. This is sodium bicarbonate. And in carbonate case, in carbonate compound, there is always carbon dioxide is evolved. So sodium reacts with SO2 and water to form sodium bicarbonate, and carbonate radical remove one oxygen atom from it and forms carbon dioxide. Okay. When carbonates of alkali metal reacts with SO2, then sodium bicarbonate is formed and carbon dioxide gas is formed. Next comes to another property, that is reaction with lime water. So this is an important reaction. So when sulfur dioxide gas pass through lime water is having formula CaOH2, that is calcium hydroxide, when sulfur dioxide reacts with calcium hydroxide, it turns lime water. Lime water को कौन कर ना मिल्की कर दूची. Why lime water turns milky? Now due to formation of water insoluble calcium sulfide. Because when SO2 reacts with calcium hydroxide, that is lime water, it forms calcium sulfide, that is CaSO3, which is a water insoluble salt. So lime water turns milky. And to this solution, when excess SO2 is passed, the milkiness disappears. When to this above solution, when excess SO2 gas is passed, then the milkiness disappears. Why the milkiness disappears? Because when excess SO2 reacts with calcium sulfide, then calcium bisulfite is formed. When excess SO2 reacts with calcium sulfide, then calcium bisulfite is formed, which is water soluble. So, due to water soluble nature, the milkiness of lime water disappears. So, when limited SO2 is passed through lime water, it forms calcium sulfide, which is insoluble in water, so milkiness appears. When to this above solution excess SO2 is passed, then it forms calcium bisulfite. Calcium bisulfite is water soluble, so the milkiness of lime water disappears. Next comes to another property, that is its reducing nature. SO2 acts as a strong reducing agent in presence of moisture. SO2 moisture presence रे गोटे strong reducing agent रो काम करे. Why? Now due to formation of nascent hydrogen, because it gives nascent hydrogen. You can see the reaction. SO2 reacts with water, forms H2SO4 and nascent hydrogen. Due to this nascent hydrogen is formed in the above reaction, so it acts as a strong reducing agent. Due to nascent hydrogen is formed in the above reaction, so SO2 acts as a reducing agent, because loss of hydrogen means oxidation. So itself it undergo oxidation, and for others it acts as a reducing agent, because its oxidation state changes from +4 to +6. There's sulfur itself undergo oxidation, and for others it acts as a reducing agent. The first reaction with ferric salt. Reaction with ferric salt. The first reaction with ferric chloride. Since it is a reducing agent, so it reduces other elements. So when SO2 reacts with ferric chloride, then it produces ferrous chloride. When SO2 reacts with ferric chloride, it forms ferrous chloride. The SO2 plus H2O give rise to H2SO4 plus 2H. This nascent hydrogen reacts with ferric chloride FeCl3 to form FeCl2 ferrous chloride, and the H and the remaining Cl forms 2HCl. These two nascent hydrogen cancel out each other, and the final equation becomes 2FeCl3 plus SO2 plus 2H2O give rise to FeCl2 plus H2SO4 plus 2H. That is, in FeCl3 the oxidation state of iron is +3, and in FeCl2 the oxidation state of iron is +2. That is, the oxidation state reduces from +3 to +4, and in sulfur the oxidation state is +4 SO2 case, and in H2SO4 the oxidation state is +6. That is, SO2 itself undergo oxidation and reduces ferric chloride to ferrous chloride. That is, its oxidation state changes from +3 to +2. Okay. Then comes to another reaction with ferric sulfate. Reaction with ferric sulfate. When SO2 reacts with ferric sulfate, so in ferric sulfate having formula Fe2SO4 whole 3, so in this case iron has oxidation state plus 3. So it reduces ferric sulfate to ferrous sulfate. So ferrous sulfate means FeSO4. FeSO4 having oxidation state plus 2. So SO2 reduces ferric sulfate to ferrous sulfate. See the equation. SO2 plus H2O give rise to H2SO4 plus 2H. This nascent hydrogen. The Fe2SO4 whole 3, the nascent ferric sulfate reacts with the nascent hydrogen to form ferrous sulfate, and the hydrogen and the remaining SO4 reacts with to form H2SO4. This nascent hydrogen cancel out each other and forms ferric sulfate to ferrous sulfate. Okay. So SO2 act as a reducing agent, so it reduces ferric salt to ferrous salt, that is ferric chloride to ferrous chloride, ferric sulfate to ferrous sulfate. Then reaction with some oxidizing agent. Reaction with some oxidizing agent like acidified KMnO4, acidified K2Cr2O7, that these two reagents are these two acidified KMnO4 and acidified K2Cr2O7, these two reagents are strong oxidizing agent because these two reagents gives nascent oxygen. That means SO2 act as reducing agent and KMnO4 K2Cr2O7 act as oxidizing agent. So they oxidizes SO2 to form H2SO4 and H2SO4 reduces them. So let us see the reaction. When SO2 reacts with or pass through a solution of acidified KMnO4, then the color of the acidified KMnO4 solution is pink in color, then the pink color of the solution becomes colorless. Acidified KMnO4 solution is pink in color. So when SO2 reacts with acidified KMnO4 or when SO2 gas is passed through the solution of acidified KMnO4, the pink color of the solution becomes colorless. That means SO2 reduces KMnO4. See the equation. KMnO4 plus H2SO4, acidified KMnO4, give rise to K2SO4, MnSO4, water and 5 oxygen. That means they are strong oxidizing agent. This oxidizing agent oxidizes SO2 to form H2SO4. So SO2 plus water plus this nascent oxygen forms H2SO4. So in the above reaction, the oxidation state of SO2 changes from +4 to +6. That is oxidation occurs, and in KMnO4 the oxidation state of manganese is +7, and in this case the oxidation state of manganese is +2. That is it undergo reduction, that is +7 to +2 oxidation state, and it undergo oxidation from +4 to +6 oxidation state. That is due to decrease of oxidation state from +7 to +2, the color of the acidified KMnO4 solution changes from pink to colorless. Then comes to another reaction, that is reaction with acidified K2Cr2O7. The K2Cr2 acidified K2Cr2O7 is also a strong oxidizing agent because K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4 gives K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole 3 plus water plus nascent oxygen. Since it is a strong oxidizing agent, it oxidizes SO2 to H2SO4 and itself undergo reduction. So acidified K2Cr2O7 is orange in color. When SO2 gas is passed through it, the orange color of the solution becomes green. So how orange color of the solution becomes green? What happens? Now, in this case, the chromium has oxidation state +6, and in this case, the chromium has oxidation state +3. And This due to since it is a strong oxidizing agent, it oxidizes sulfur dioxide to sulfuric acid. That is, its oxidation state changes from +4 to +6. It undergo reduction and it undergo oxidation. Since its oxidation state changes from +6 to +3, so the color of the solution changes from orange to green. Okay, so SO2 reduces ferric salt to ferrous salt, and KMnO4 acidified KMnO4 color pink color to colorless, and acidified K2Cr2S7 color from orange color to green color. So SO2 act as a reducing agent. Then reaction with halogen. Reaction with halogen. When SO2 reacts with halogen, SO2 reduces halogen. Since SO2 is a reducing agent, so it reduces halogen to form halogen acid. Because in halogen, the oxidation state of halogen is 0, and in halogen acid, the oxidation state of halogens are -1. So oxidation state changes from 0 to -1. So we can say that SO2 reduces halogen to halogen acid. See the equation. One halogen is taken, that is chlorine. Chlorine plus water give rise to 2HCl plus nascent oxygen. SO2 plus water and this nascent oxygen form H2SO4. Its oxidation state changes from 0 to -1, and its oxidation state changes from +4 to +6. It +0 to -1, and its oxidation state changes from +4 to +6. So SO2 reduces halogen to halogen acid. Next reaction, that is a reaction with H2S. Reaction with H2S. SO2 is a reducing agent. We already discussed it. And we know H2S is also a reducing agent. So between these two reducing agents, H2S is a strong reducing agent. H2S is a strong reducing agent. Due to strong reducing agent, it acts as a reducing agent, so it reduces SO2, and in this case, SO2 acts as a oxidizing agent rather than a reducing agent, because it reacts with a strong oxidizing agent H2S. So in this case only SO2 reacts as a oxidizing agent, because it reacts with strong reducing agent, that is H2S. So in this reaction SO2 oxidizes H2S to sulfur. In H2S, sulfur has oxidation state -2, and in sulfur has oxidation state 0. So its oxidation state changes from -2 to 0. That is SO2 oxidizes H2S to sulfur. See the equation. SO2 plus 2H2S give rise to H2O plus 3S. Okay. So we can say that SO2 can act as both oxidizing agent and as well as reducing agent, because it is a oxidation state +4, so it can oxidizes itself to +6 oxidation state and act as a reducing agent, and it reduces its oxidation state from +4 to -2 and act as a oxidizing agent. Due to middle oxidation state, SO2 can act as both oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. Then comes to its bleaching action. The bleaching action of SO2 is its reducing character. The bleaching action of SO2 is due to its reducing property or reducing character. The nascent hydrogen produced by the reaction with moisture, when SO2 reacts with moisture, that means water, it forms H2SO4 and nascent hydrogen. This nascent hydrogen is its reducing nature. This nascent hydrogen decolorizes coloring material to colorless. So this nascent hydrogen reacts with vegetable color matter to colorless because this bleaching action is temporary in nature. Why the bleaching action is temporary in nature? Because because the bleaching action occurs is a reducing property. Due to reduction, the bleaching action occurs. And when the colorless matter again exposed to air, it undergo oxidation by reaction with oxygen and regain its color. So, the bleaching action of SO2 is temporary due to its reducing property. Then it acts as a bleaching agent and it also acts as an anti-chlor. What do you mean by an anti-chlor? Now anti-chlor means which reduces the property of chlorine. Which reduces the property of chlorine is known as anti-chlor. So SO2 acts as an anti-chlor because when SO2 reacts with chlorine, it forms HCl. So the property of chlorine changes or destroyed. So for which SO2 can act as a anti-chlor. So SO2 gas can be tested by these methods, by burning sulfur same or by reaction with acidified K2CO7 because we observe the orange color changes to green color, or by decoloration of acidified KMnO4 solution, or by reaction with lime water. So these are the tests used for sulfur dioxide. And what is the uses of sulfur dioxide? Now it is used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid. In sulfuric acid preparation, SO2 act as a main role, act as a bleaching agent, we already discussed it, act as an anti-chlor, we already discussed it, and they act as a disinfectant and germicide. Disinfectant and germicide means which kills the microorganism, or germs, so it acts as a disinfectant as well as germicide. So this is all about the laboratory preparation of SO2 and its chemical properties. Thank you everyone.